Hello friends, welcome to another video on our channel. Today we're going to talk about how and when your cockatiel should sunbathe. Who doesn't like to enjoy a good sunbath? In addition to being an excellent way to get vitamin D, basking in sunlight is extremely pleasurable and relaxing. However, just as the sun's rays can be harmful to humans, causing burns and increasing the risk of skin cancer, some pets can also be sensitive to sun exposure. But can cockatiels sunbathe? Let's understand the importance of the sun for these birds. To answer the question, yes, cockatiels can sunbathe. In fact, they not only can but must expose themselves to the sun daily, in a controlled and supervised manner. Sun exposure is essential for the well-being of cockatiels, because in addition to being a pleasant practice, it is essential for the proper functioning of the body of these birds. Just like us, cockatiels rely on calcium to maintain bone and muscle health. Vitamin D, which is synthesized in the skin through exposure to the sun, is crucial for the correct absorption of calcium by the cockatiels' bodies. The sun also helps to make cockatiels' feathers bright and beautiful. This is like a beauty treatment for them. Sunlight helps to keep the skin and feathers healthy, preventing problems such as excessive feather shedding or loss of color. Well-groomed feathers not only make cockatiels look prettier, but they are also essential for flight and maintaining body heat. Just like us, cockatiels are happiest when they get a little sun. They can get more excited and sing more. Exposure to sunlight helps regulate the levels of hormones in the cockatiel's body, such as serotonin, which is known as the happiness hormone. This can make your cockatiel feel more cheerful, active, and willing to play. The sun helps to strengthen cockatiels' bodies, making them less likely to get sick. Sunlight stimulates the production of white blood cells, which are responsible for fighting infections. This means that a cockatiel that sunbathes regularly has a stronger immune system and can better resist illness and infection. Sunbathing helps cockatiels understand when it's day and when it's night, which helps regulate their sleep. Natural sunlight is essential for maintaining the cockatiel's circadian rhythm, which is the body's internal clock that regulates the sleep-wake cycle. With proper sun exposure, your cockatiel will have a more restful sleep and be more active during the day. Sun exposure helps in the maintenance of feathers, promoting their proper growth and development. Without this exposure, cockatiels can suffer from problems in growth and development, as well as decalcification of bones. Therefore, providing a daily sunbath for your cockatiel is a vital part of the care needed to keep your bird healthy and happy. It is important, however, to ensure that exposure is moderate, avoiding times of intense sun and always offering shelter in the cage so that the cockatiel can protect itself when it feels the need. Choosing a suitable place for the cage of birds kept at home is essential for their well-being. In this context, it is essential to position it in a safe, cool, and well-ventilated environment, but without drafts that can cause discomfort or illness. The cage should be away from predators and any external threats that may cause stress to the birds. In addition, it is essential that the birds are in a well-lit place. Receiving natural light, however, it is important to prevent the place from becoming excessively hot, which can lead to heat stress and health problems. It is necessary to create a perfect balance between adequate lighting and comfortable temperature to ensure the health and well-being of cockatiels. Cockatiels sunbathing should always be in moderation. For the body of these birds to be able to synthesize vitamin D effectively, it is necessary that they have direct exposure to the sun. Just receiving light through a glass is not enough, say the experts. This does not mean that you should leave the cage in the bright sun all day. On the contrary, exposure should only occur at times when the sun intensity is lower, such as early in the morning or late afternoon. These periods are ideal because the sun's rays are softer and less likely to cause burns or overheating. Exposure during midday, when the sun is at its strongest, can be extremely harmful. In addition, exposure should not be prolonged. According to experts, a period of 15 to 20 minutes is enough to ensure that cockatiels get adequate levels of vitamin D. Longer exposures can lead to overheating and dehydration. It is important to monitor the time with a watch and ensure that the bird is not exposed for longer than recommended. This time control helps prevent any adverse effects of prolonged sun exposure. It is crucial that even during this brief time of direct sun exposure, the cockatiel has a shelter inside the cage to protect itself from excessive heat and direct sunlight. This shelter can be a shaded part of the cage, or a small roof that allows the cockatiel to retreat when it feels the need. This gives the bird control over its sun exposure, allowing it to move to a cooler area if it starts to feel uncomfortable. Many people think that only we humans are impacted by rising temperatures in the warmer seasons. However, our pets are also sensitive to thermometer variations and may have even more difficulty keeping their bodies cool. But what about cockatiels? Do they also suffer from the heat? Considering that for some animals high temperatures can even be dangerous, it is natural to wonder if cockatiels feel hot. Just like us, cockatiels also feel hot, and it depends on several things. For example, when we are playing or running, our body is warmer than when we are resting. Similarly, if we are in a room with open windows and plenty of fresh air, we feel less hot than in a closed and stuffy place. With cockatiels, it's the same thing. They may feel warmer if they are flying and playing, or if the place where they live does not have good ventilation. According to experts, cockatiels have a higher body temperature than ours, between 39 degrees Celsius and 42 degrees Celsius. This means that they are already naturally warmer than we are. Therefore, it is important to pay attention to how they are feeling during exposure to the sun, or even on hot days. If a cockatiel is too hot, it may start panting, spread its wings to cool off, and even be quieter than usual. In addition, the place where cockatiels live should be between 23 degrees Celsius and 24 degrees Celsius, with plenty of air circulating but no direct wind. This is important because even if they need fresh air, strong winds can make them uncomfortable or even sick. It is also essential to always be aware of the signs that the bird may be hot, such as when it begins to breathe with its beak open. Other signs of overheating include slightly spread wings and an appearance of tiredness. Another important tip to notice if your cockatiel is hot is to observe its feathers. The feathers act like a blanket, keeping heat close to the body. When the cockatiel is hot, it tends to keep its feathers close to its body to try to cool off. This happens because the air between the feathers helps retain heat. So by keeping the feathers close to the body, the cockatiel tries to release that extra heat. If this occurs, immediately move it to a cooler place to avoid overheating. On the other hand, if the feathers are ruffled, it may indicate that the cockatiel is cold or does not feel well. When the feathers are raised, the cockatiel is trying to trap more air for warmth or because it is feeling sick. It is important to pay attention to these signs to know if your bird is comfortable. Selecting the appropriate time for your cockatiel to sunbathe daily is an essential precaution to avoid hyperthermia, which is characterized by an abnormal increase in body temperature. Hyperthermia occurs when the bird's body is unable to reestablish thermal balance through heat dissipation mechanisms, one of the main ones being expiration. When the cockatiel is exposed to excessive heat for too long, its body is unable to release the heat quickly enough, which can result in a dangerous increase in body temperature. One of the main consequences of hyperthermia in cockatiels is an increase in respiratory rate. As the bird's body temperature rises, it begins to breathe more quickly in an attempt to cool itself, which can lead to burnout. This condition is extremely dangerous and can, in severe cases, lead to the death of the bird. Therefore, paying attention to your cockatiel's sunbathing is one of the fundamental precautions to ensure its health and well-being. It is important to create an environment where the cockatiel can bask in the sun, but also take refuge in cooler areas when necessary. Carefully observing whether the cockatiel begins to breathe with its beak open during sunbathing or at any other time is crucial to ensure its health. If you notice this behavior, it is essential to act quickly and immediately take her to a cooler and more protected environment. At these times, devices such as fans and air conditioners can be very useful to help control the temperature of the environment around the bird. However, it is essential to prevent direct airflow from the fans from being directed directly at the cockatiel, as cold air currents can be harmful to its delicate health. Given the sensitivity of cockatiels to sudden changes in temperature, it is crucial to gradually adjust the environment to ensure their continued comfort. If even with these measures the cockatiel does not show significant improvement and the signs of discomfort persist, it is imperative to provide an even cooler environment for the bird and immediately seek the assistance of a specialized veterinarian. In everyday life, other practices that contribute to keeping the cockatiel always fresh include ensuring that it has continuous access to fresh water in the drinking fountain and providing a container with shallow water where it can bathe. In addition to refreshing the bird, this habit also promotes its personal hygiene, helping it to stay clean and comfortable. Incorporating these simple measures into your cockatiel's care routine is key to ensuring their well-being and health over time. Make sure your cockatiel always has fresh water available. On hot days, just like us, she needs water to cool off and stay hydrated. Imagine being on a very hot day and with nothing to drink. It would be very uncomfortable, right? The same thing happens with your cockatiel. Keeping a bowl of clean, fresh water on hand is essential. Also, notice how she rejoices when she finds fresh water, often showing her happiness with small jumps and ruffling her feathers. This shows how much she appreciates this care. You can also put a toilet with some water in its cage. Think about how fun it is to play with water on a hot day. For the cockatiel, this little bath becomes a small oasis where she can cool off and play. Put a little bath with 2 fingers of water in the cage and see how it reacts. In addition to keeping it fresh, the bath also helps to keep it clean. Bathing is a fun and healthy way for your cockatiel to feel good and happy. And don't be surprised if she starts doing little dancers after a good bath, showing how much she enjoyed the experience. Did you already know these tips? If so, write in the comments so we know. And if you have any questions, you can ask in the comments too. Your question can be the subject of our videos here on the channel, so we can help other tutors who may have the same question as yours. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell to receive all notifications of upcoming videos. Come back often, okay? Now I'm saying goodbye to you. Thank you for watching this video and see you next time. I'll wait for you there. Bye-bye.